Hello everybody, welcome to Enigma Day. Today we are delighted to welcome Antti Korhola from Helsinki. I'm going to put you on the spotlight. Hi Antti, do you have a niggin for today?
Yes, thank you Ilana for having me. It's such a great honor to be a part of this project. I am a relatively, let's say, a newcomer in this Klezmer game, so it's really an honor to be in such a great company of wonderful Klezmer violin players. And yes, I will start with Tish-Nigunim from the Beregovski collection, numbers 79 and 45A. And the first one, 79, it's a really beautiful melody. One of, well, my favorite one of the 5 that I recorded for this project. And it kind of invites you to play it in a really emotional and even sentimental way, but I try to include some playfulness as well. I think it's included in the melody. And the 45A is a bit more rhythmic one, and I try to combine them too. So here we go.
Fabulous, thanks, Antti. That was great.
So yeah, that was the first Nigunim of the day. I'll play a few more in the show. By the way, if anybody's wondering, the first one I did, the 79, it has, in the original score, it has these even 8 notes. I decided pretty early on to do it with these short, long patterns, and it felt kind of intuitively right, but I didn't think about it afterwards anymore.
Well, we all know how difficult it is to actually notate something that's been sung or played in a folk style. Yeah. So, yeah, perfectly acceptable. So I'm very interested. I was in Helsinki and indeed Kaustinen, as you know, for a few months, and my first experience when I arrived was going to the Folk Awards in Helsinki, and I was amazed to discover that Klezmer was receiving an award, because I didn't know that it was such a big thing in Finland. But maybe you can say a little bit more about what's been going on with Klezmer in Finland over the last few years.
Yeah, well, yeah, Finland and Helsinki especially has a great Klezmer scene, and probably it's best described by, there's a monthly Klezmer jam session, which is sadly now on the break, and there's also lots of concerts, a few bands. There's a Klezmer festival that happens in every few years with great international Klezmer musicians as guests. So it's really a treat to have them here in Helsinki. And I'll later in the show introduce Eva Jacob, who is really the heart of the Helsinki Klezmer scene. So we'll get later back on her.
The Klezmer mama, is that yes. Correct?
And her extended Klezmer family.
The local term.
Yeah.
How about another tune?
Yeah, I will next play this Nigun number 119, and this one it has a nice combination of these more rhythmic elements and also these expressive singing elements. At least that's how I feel about the melody, and I try to handle that combination now when I play it. So.
you.
Oh,
That was really great. Fun. Very rhythmic. Felt very rhythmic.
okay.
It was good. We've got a question here from Richard, who's one of our London fiddlers. He says, are you aware of any historic link or crossover of influences between Klezmer and Finnish folk music?
That's a good question, but I have to say no. I'm not aware of that kind of thing. Yeah.
There you go. The Finns are people of few words, Richard. You'll learn this.
Yes.
I think there's a bit of, would you say, maybe with the Russian influence, some of the melodies that were popular Russian tunes, for example, also find themselves in the klezmer repertoire and still in some of the Finnish folk repertoire, perhaps?
Yeah, it might be so, and probably some of the Eastern Finnish folk music maybe has more to do with similar types of melodies as in klezmer than the West Finnish pelimanni folk fiddling, I suppose. But I have to say I'm not an expert on this subject.
It's very interesting with the Finnish folk music, isn't it? Because it's such a, although there are so few people, there's such a divide or a kind of spread, you know, from the Swedish side over to the Russian side. The music really diverges very, and even north and south as well, I think, with
Yeah.
the Sami music in the north as well. It's huge range.
Yeah, it is. And yeah, my journey with klezmer music started in I think it was 2015 when my friend Juska told me about this jam session, a klezmer jam session, and I was kind of interested, but he had to explain me about this music in general, since I had no idea of the music, and Juska thought that it might be my thing maybe, and I tried, and Juska was right. I really fell in love with the music and the expressivity and the emotional depth of the music, and from the jam sessions I quite fast got new friends, and there is also where I met Eva Jacob, who I mentioned earlier, who is like the main activist of klezmer music in Finland. Probably not much would be happening without Eva. So at this point, maybe we could welcome Eva to be a part of the conversation.
Okay, thank you. Do you hear me?
Yes.
So, hi, thank you for your Nigunim.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so would you like to tell something about your history with klezmer music in Helsinki?
Yeah.
What you have
So if we speak about, if you want to speak about klezmer in Helsinki, so we should go 20 years back, but probably it's too long time. But anyway, the first festival was in 2000 in Helsinki, and then after that the activity starts. Then I have a association, Finnish Klezmer Association, and this I think this we have, not I have, we have, and this I think this association is very important. They have very important part klezmer music in Helsinki, because association arrange everything, jam session, rehearsal. We have rehearsal once in at least once in the month here at my home. And then what is very, very nice, and what I love, that the people, the musician who is in this group, Klezmer group, they bring all the time some person who don't know anything about Klezmer, and then this person just, how should I say, just swim for this company and for this music. This is very, very important, that that people, any person can come, and the guys and girls who is in this group, they take the new people very, very, the new people feel very, very welcome. So I think this is much important thing, why we are in this situation, a very nice, very good, very happy situation in Finland with the Klezmer.
And is it true that you also have formed a band? You yourself an accordion player, is that right? And you have a band?
Yes, I try. Yes, I play accordion. And because 20 years ago, my children with whom I start to play klezmer, they told me that, Mama, you piano, it's not good. We don't want that you play piano. You should play something, another instruments. Play accordion, okay? Then I buy accordion and I start to practice.
Okay, well, we have your children to thank for that then. That's wonderful. And could you just tell us briefly about the award that was made in earlier this year?
You mean, if you understand you're right, you mean this Ethnogala? No? What do you ask? Sorry.
Yes, the Ethnogala Award on national television.
Yeah. It was by accident, the good accident. So it actually started in last autumn, and they have this organization have many people who was involved in not in Klezmer, but in every kind of country music in Helsinki. So in this nation where I have been, it was me and another man, and this nomination, it's risteyspalkinto. So risteys it's mean that in this music what you do, you have a lot of person, and what you who is involved in this, and they are, it's like Antti, can you help me? What is risteys in English?
It's crossroads.
Yeah. Actually, I show it. So it's this was the reason. I think this was the reason why I got this, and I feel that it's not mine. I feel not for only to me. I think it's for whole this group, whole people who is playing, coming to rehearsal, coming to jam session, play in a of course, in the wedding we have play. Actually, we have free wedding in May and in June. People ask that we come to play klezmer in wedding, but Corona. So we have a lot of activity.
Great, thank you so much. Well,
welcome.
Part of the activity is, of course, Antti, and we return to you now. Antti, would you like to play another tune at this point? or do you have some more
you.
to tell us?
Yes. At this point, I'd like to play something from a Beregovski collection, but not from the collection of Nigunim, but from the Klezmer volume. And this is a Scotsman number 51, and it's also recorded by Kandel's orchestra in the United States, and in that recording there's a wonderful doina included. So I'll try to play both the doina and the Scotsman number 51.
Hi, Antti, I did have another question for you. When I was looking at your music online, I noticed that you also work with animation. Are you doing that yourself, or is it something you like to be incorporated in your music?
Yeah, I don't do it normally, but I wanted to something kind of silly for the as a music video for my own composition. So I did these do-it-yourself animations. I've done it twice, so it's not a.
Oh, it was very enjoyable, I thought.
Oh, thank you.
Has anybody else got any questions for Antti at this point or any point? No, they're very quiet. They can ask you themselves, I guess. Any more you want to say, or would you like to play us a final piece?
Okay, my final thing is a surprise number. You know, this lockdown time is a perfect time for picking up new skills. And you know, when you are a violin player and you attend a Klezmer jam session, and let's say 10 to 15 people, it sometimes can be a bit frustrating if it's very loud. You can't really tell if you are being heard on the violin. So this is my solution to the problem. Just a second.
Oh, it's very exciting.
Yes.
The anticipation is building.
Okay. You might want to set your volume down a bit. Well, big thank you goes to my wife Minna, who is a percussion player. She has given me really valuable advice on this, and she has been really patient, and she's also borrowing me her equipment. So
well, we won't judge her on the results. We'll judge you on the results.
Do that, please. And this is a greeting for all my fellow Klezmer in Finland. In the next jam session, I'll be the one with the loudest instrument. Okay, are you ready?
Fantastic, you're hired.
Yes, great.
And of course, the next thing you have to do is teach your wife to play the cymbalon, like I think it was Mitya who taught you.
Oh, yes. That would be great.
She may not be as compliant as Mitya's wife was about that, though, I guess. Yeah. Brilliant. Well, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure to have you here with us today. And it's great to hear you play. I can't believe that you've only been playing klezmer for 4 or 5 years. It sounds like you were born to it. So let's see if we can see everybody who's watching. Oh. And let's just say thank you one more time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Antti.